Welcome to my MCPHub setup guide. We're going to learn how to install this and use it with Neovim and look at a few of the features. If you pay attention to how I'm doing things, I'm going to explain everything. So you really should be able to get up and running with this no problem if you understand everything I'm doing in this video. So let's get right to it. First things first, I'll link to my .files on GitHub and you can hop in there, and inside of Envim, you can go to Lua and then go to plugins and then go to lazy. And this is where all this stuff's going to be happening. So come in here and you'll be able to see exactly how I've set all this stuff up. For example, this is like my fine flow, like welcome screen, and boom, that's what's right here. So this is my setup. This is how everything's working. So let's go ahead and install MCPHub, and I'm going to open up a new window here and check this out. So if I look at my ZSHRC and I'm just going to grep on, it was called NVC. I have this alias set up where I go into my Neovim config. So it's in my home directory .config nvim, and then I just open up Vim. So if I just from anywhere on my computer, I can just type NVC and I pop in here and I can edit my Neovim config. So that's how I'll work. I'll just I'll just be working. I'll pop open a new tmux window and I can start working on my Neovim config and then just get out of there. So this is how I do things. So MCPHub is not installed and we want to install it. So let's have a look. What is this thing? What is MCPHub? It's really cool. It gives us access to MCP servers. It's also a bit of a marketplace, but really the way that this thing works is you can access MCP through other Neovim tools. So this has extensions. So we're going to use it with Avante. But first we need to install this part, this MCPHub part. And so I'm using lazy. So if I go to the installation and just search lazy, this is how we're going to do it. And there's this global installation, which is recommended. And this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to copy this from the official docs, and we'll just come back here and I'm just going to put it somewhere. I'm going to put it right above Avante, let's say. Okay, so we're going to indent this, come down, clean it up. Let me slow down because I told you as long as you understand all this, you're good to go. But at this point, I think things are pretty confusing. So I've got this file in my home user directory called config. And inside of there, I've got a folder called Neovim, Nvim, right like this. Now don't worry that it's symlinked to my .files. That's not really important. The important thing is that you have this folder right here and you should be able to go into it. So if I say, cd nvim, I can enter this. This is just like a folder on my system, no big deal. And this is where it lives, and that's really important. So in this init.lua, that's where we are doing the magic. This is where this is what Neovim looks at, and then this thing points out to all these files. And oh shit. Okay, so I just installed MCPHub, because I just opened up Neovim. So spoiler alert, there you go. But check this out. This is what's doing the work, and here I'm referencing lazy right here. I'm require everything in lazy. So go ahead and load this file, plugins.lazy, and so this is where it's going. In principle, I think I could just take all this code right here and just stick it right into this file. But I basically just do this to keep things clean, right, and organized. And actually, I tried this VS Code. It wasn't really work. So let me just clean this up while I'm here. Okay, good. So this is how things are happening. Now you'll notice we installed MCPHub, but I didn't really want to do that yet. So let me show you how this works. So if I was to uncomment that, right, and let's get out of here. And now what's going on here? MCPHub right here. So I can uninstall that, and actually if I get out of Vim and come back, now that this is commented out and I type lazy, it's going to be like, oh, you should clean this up. You removed it, you should probably get rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of it. Now it's not installed, and now it'll have to install the next time I open Vim. Okay, so that's kind of how I wanted to actually show you this. I wanted to show you how it installs, so let's do that. Okay, I've just added it. I'm going to open up a new area, and now it's installing. And this is done with lazy. It automatically noticed it, and it installed it, and it's ready to go. So MCPHub is added. That's cool. However, we need a way to speak to this. And so I'm using Avante. And so I can use Avante and extend it, and I can extend it with this code right here. So this is some code that I wrote, but I referenced the documentation in order to find this, and I'm just kind of setting up MCPHub as an extension when when Avante is configured. And so you can find this code in my .files repository like I talked about at the beginning of the video. And now that that's started, we should be able to use this. So I'm just going to make sure I exit Vim and come back. We shouldn't need to install anything. Like if I look inside of Lazy, I've got Avante here. I already had that installed. I just had to kind of configure this this MCP thing. So I can open up Avante with space AA, and now I can try and do some MCP stuff. So if I type \, I can immediately see I've got this MCP Neovim parrot. Well, actually, I don't want to even use Avante yet. I'm just going to type MCP, and then if I type hub, and that's it, right? That's the command. That's how we open it. So I can type that and press enter, and boom, we've got our MCP hub. What the hell is going on? So the first thing is we have kind of these like helpers, right? Like when I move around, I can see, okay, L is to expand, T is to toggle. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's expand it. Let's toggle this. Okay, so I can expand this. I have get current servers. I have toggle MCP server. And what else do I have? I have some Neovim stuff. So down here, let's expand this. And then we're going to go to the marketplace. And look at all this. Look at all this stuff we can do. What is going on in here? Okay, we're going to try this one. So I'm clicking L. Oops. So I clicked L on this. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah. Neovim, love it. Okay, so if I go back, I can use like H, J, K, L. See these things? So I'm gonna pull this up here so you can really see. So this is all like, you gotta figure this out, but you can go H is back and L is forward, and then you can go down and up with J and K. So it's very like what you'd expect, and then you use the capital letters to bounce around here. So if I wanna go to the hub page, I do capital H, and I'm on the hub page, and I can go up and down. Yeah, so that's cool. And like, I gotta let you know, like, I'm just getting used to this. I don't like use MCPHub every day. If I go to capital C, I can see the config, and this looks really familiar if you've, used MCP and configured stuff before. This is clearly where we're gonna put our servers. Hey guys, I just have a super quick interruption to tell you about my course, the AI Engineer Roadmap. Being able to track your progress as you kind of learn about these different aspects of AI engineering from like a core conceptual understanding point of view, and it really spans like a lot. So I think this course it's not so much about the money that you spend to buy it, but it's more like a commitment to yourself to actually like take the time to learn about a bunch of these fundamental concepts. Thank you, and I'll let you get back to the video today. So let's go back to Marketplace, and I'm gonna find, if I can, okay, cool. Oh, I can search like with \. That is very cool. What if I wanted something about stocks? Clear. Can I escape? Okay, stock. No, there was one for time, and this is the one I want to play around with. So I'm going to type L, and now I go into this little time server, and check this out. Like, this is the URL of the server. It's on, oh, I can even scroll over, so I can do GX, and I can open that up. Cool. So this is the time MCP server. This is the one I want to play around with, and it can just get us the current time. I think that's pretty cool. Let's give it a shot. So we've got some pip install commands, and then we've got some configuration commands. But this README file, like, this is what is being shown to me here. So we see the same pip install commands, and we see all of these configuration. So how to configure for Claude, how to configure, and so on and so forth. So for me, I was playing around with this yesterday, and I needed to run the Docker version. So you can start an MCP server through Docker. I mean, that in itself is freaking cool. And so I'm going to install this inside of MCPHub, and we're gonna check this out. So I can just grab this, and I'm going to yank it. And now we need to put this into the configuration, into the MCPHub configuration. And this is where, like, so what you might want to do is try to like install it. So they have an AI install option, and you can try it with Avante. Yeah, so let me show you what that looked like. I tried this yesterday, and yeah, it just didn't work. I'll try it again for you. So it's trying to like go ahead and use Avante to install it. I'll just type yes. So it's making a directory, MCPHub servers, and now it's gonna run the tool. It's updating the configuration file to include the time, and it's put it in here. This is actually potentially working. So it used the UVX command. Okay, let's say yes. So it looks like it's installed it somewhere. That's pretty neat. So let me open up MCPHub again and see if we can find this. So if I go to my config, here it is. So, oh, shoot. Oh, I opened it. Oh, I'm editing it. This is that actual file, right? And it's gone ahead and installed this MCP server. But I've got to say, like, it went through a lot of hoops, and I had to spend some money on this. But really, all it comes down to is I just had to paste this code in here, right? I just had to find this file and paste this code in here. Getting started will show me this, and here it is. So it's saying it's in home config MCPHub servers.json. So really, all I have to do here is just open this up. So I can open this file with Vim. And like this is, you know, same file here. I'm actually gonna close it. Yeah, and this is how I want to work. Like so up here, I'm gonna run MCPHub, and down here I can just like work on that. This is not working right now. So whatever it's done down here is not working for me. Why is it called 1? This is very strange. Opening MCPHub, I can tell right here that like the connection has closed. This is not working for me. And if I go back to the marketplace and I look for time, I was in here, I was messing around with this one, and I had some installation instructions, and there were some Docker ones. And when I was playing around with this yesterday, I was able to get the Docker one working, but not the others. So let's try to use this. I'm gonna copy this. This is putting it in my clipboard, and I'm gonna throw it down here. And so I don't know what's going on with that. But the way I would expect this to look is like this. I'll just do that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is actually run this MCP server with Docker. So Docker is gonna go ahead and run, and it's gonna like, you know, run this MCP/time Docker image on my computer. So let's do that. I've saved it, and immediately stuff's happening. So the MCPHub is open, right? So it's trying to spawn this immediately. And I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, go for it. I'm gonna allow that. And now I'm gonna open up a new thing, and we're gonna keep an eye on Docker. So look at this, 8 seconds ago, it just spun this thing up, and this is gonna be running an MCP server from inside of Docker. So if I go back to Hub, it looks like time is working now. So I can open it up, we've got some tools. So this is how things should work. Now, I'm not saying you need to use Docker, but like for me, like check it out. Like that's what worked for this server. So let's just demonstrate this. And are we all on the same page? I think this is pretty straightforward, right? So let me quit out of that. And like I'm sorry about all this like stuff that's coming up, but you know, such is the Neovim life, right? So let me create a new chat here, and we're gonna try and trigger this time. I want to get the time. So probably. If I just ask what time it is, that would be, you know, the most straightforward way I could think of to trigger this tool call. And look at this. So do you want to call get current time on time? Hell yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I do. Let's go. So this is using MCPHub. He's using this tool. Let me make this a bit bigger. And it's saying, okay, the current time is this. Yeah, tell me about the time in, where do I want to see? Kyoto. Oh no. Asia, Tokyo. I wonder, is Japan one time zone? I just kind of love that, right? I'm like, what's the time in Kyoto? And I spell it wrong. And then AI figures it out. It understands that Kyoto is the same time zone as Tokyo, and that's, you know, the time zone it needs to look up for the tool, Asia, Tokyo, and then it gets me that time. Maybe we should try a different one. MCPHub Marketplace. We'll go back, and I'm filtered on time, so I'll press escape to get out of that. I feel like GitTools has a lot of potential. Let's check that one out. And I'm definitely going to prefer these manual installs. I don't like the process of this other install, and the Docker ones have been working pretty well for me. So let's do that again, and I'm going to go into my servers.json. And again, I'll remind you where that is. That's just located here. Now, if you don't have this file, you know, you can just go ahead and create it. Like, I don't want there to be any magic here. So you do make dir MCPHub, that's what you need. Then you go into MCPHub, and then you just create this file. So touch servers.json, open it up, and boom, here's where you can put your servers. Right, so let's add another one, and I can paste that. Now, I gotta be careful. As soon as I save this, it's gonna run this. It's gonna fire this off. What's with this user's username? Does this have to be me? Probably. I feel like that, well, let me see, bind. I don't actually know what's going on with that. Maybe I should read about that. So wherever it said Docker, replace user's username with the path that you want to be accessible by this tool. What? That's kind of awkward, isn't it? All right, let's try something here. So I put my stuff in this pro folder. That's where my projects live. So let's try that. Oops, I saved it. Okay, so now up here, this should probably be doing stuff. Let's go back to Hub. Okay, so Git is installed and it like figured it out. Okay, now I need to open a Git repository. So I'm gonna get out of here and let's go back. I guess, okay, so I have some uncommitted stuff right here. So I can work right here. I'm in this like Zazen Code Season 2 Git folder. So I'll open up Vim and I'm just gonna full screen on this. Actually, first let me show you the Docker stuff. So I really want to stress that these are being spun up by MCPHub. So if I was to exit Neovim and come down here, they're still running. They're still running. Oh, because this is Neovim. Okay, let's get out of that Neovim as well. I think these are going to run as long as Neovim is open, but I suppose it could just be spinning these up and never killing them. Okay, well, I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I could kill these. So I'm going to say docker stop, and probably this is a good call, you know, if you're watching. Yeah, like if you're watching, if anyone's still here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop these like just myself, because yeah, we don't want these servers running. Yeah, but okay, there we go. So now they're down. That's what I want to show you, and I want to show you them launching up. So we're not going to need this anymore. Let me illustrate that. So Docker's not doing anything. Starts Neovim, nothing, not doing anything. Okay, I'm going to open MCPHub. Huh. Oh boy, what the hell is going on here? Oh, maybe refresh. What about restart? Okay, here we go. Nice. So did you see what I did? I typed capital R. That's this one in the bottom right corner. And that restarted everything, which triggered our Docker images to repull and get up and running. Now I should be able to do what I wanted. So let's go new, and just to show you where I'm at here, I'm gonna open up my, get over here, open up my, oh my God. Okay, so this is all my like source code. I've got some uncommitted stuff right here, right? And yeah, let me just go ahead and commit this. So I'm gonna say commit the changes in this repo, out the details. Yeah, all right. I want to see if it can use this Git tool that we just installed. Now, of course, like it's cool and all that I'm doing this inside of Neovim, but it's kind of like jumping through a lot of hoops, right, to get Avante to like be doing this stuff for me. So it's running some bash commands, it's, oh boy, oh, this rate limit error, oh, it's gonna retry again. This is something I run into a lot with Avante. And also like, this must be costing me a bit of money that it's just not showing me. So I'm just really frustrated recently with Avante, to be honest, the whole user experience. Like, look, it just keeps jumping me. Ugh, okay. So as far as I know, I can't even stop this either. That's another thing that's annoying. Okay, so it's actually going ahead and continuing this. However, like the only thing is it's not actually using these tools. Like it's not really using the Git tool that I asked for. So I'm gonna type no. So if I go F to focus and type no, and then the reason I'm gonna say is because you're not using the Git tool. I added one over MCP, but we're generating now, and I'm hoping it'll actually trigger our tool. Okay, so it seems to be stuck generating something. Whatever, I'm gonna call this one done, but I just wanted to show you the cost. So what we did today just cost $1. And I would love it if Avante had like, we could actually see that, but I can still track it online, and I really highly recommend keeping an eye on cost. Yeah, so today was $1 US just for like, whatever we did right here to mess around. And honestly, we didn't really do anything, right? We just asked for a couple simple tool calls. So like, what I'm saying is be really careful with the cost of playing around with stuff like this. So now I'm gonna exit Avante. Okay, so now what I wanna do is try this with Code Companion. So I've gone ahead and set up Code Companion. It's got a different interface that I'm very much not familiar with right now, but we have this MCPHub extension for Code Companion, and it looks like we can add this. So let me take you through this process. So I'm going to grab this. We're going to go back over to our Neovim setup. So I'm going to type MVC. So we'll hop in here, and I'm going to go to plugins, lazy, and we're going to look where I have code companion. So I already have this installed, but this is going to be like a setup script. So I'm going to go to the bottom of code companion area, and for now I'm just going to paste this, but we're going to have to figure out like how do we actually get this in. So here's how we did for Avante. I'm going to grab that same example, and I just want this as a reference because, you know, we're coding in Lua here, and I'm not super comfortable with that, but I can do simple things like monkey see, monkey do, you know? So here we go. So that's what we had for Avante. I expect that's what we need as well right here for Code Companion. So this is just going to be run inside of Code Companion as it's configured. So when we load up Vim and configure Code Companion, we'll run this little setup, which is going to add MCPHub as an extension. And we get a couple little things we can do, some slash commands. Let's see if we can get this working. So that's saved. So if I come back over here, we've got our Docker stuff running. So I'm just going to focus on what we're trying to do here. And I'm just going to open up Vim, and this is good. So now for me, I have some Code Companion like kind of key maps. So I got this one OA and OE. And what we're going to do is try this OE one. I want to do Code Companion chat toggle. All right, let's do it. So leader OE. All right, so I'm in Code Companion here. I can see some options and stuff. I can see some variables, and I can see there's some MCPHub stuff going on in the variables and in the tools. MCP servers tool. Okay, let's try the docs. So in order to run this stuff, and I could be like, show me. And I click like Command S, like that. You can see what I'm doing. This command. This is what like fires it off inside of Code Companion. And I'll show you one more thing. I've got it set up to talk with Anthropic. So this is going to send stuff over like to Anthropic. This is kind of my chat engine. So this didn't work. And oh man, okay. So I don't know how to use this thing. Okay, so hey, yeah, what's your name, bud? Oh, Copilot adapter not found. Did you see that? What's going on? Why is it trying to use Copilot? I should be using Anthropic. Here we go. So this is what I did. It was in the setup. Oh. Well, yeah, I'm not really doing it in the setup. That's my problem. Okay, let's make sure I'm calling this in the setup part of my code, which would be down here. So it's strategies, and then I have extensions. Okay, and then, you know, presumably this was wrong. So I don't know. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, let's see about this. So let's get out of here and restart it. Now let's try OE. So I'm into thing, and I can be like, who are you? Nice, no error. This should be working. Nice. Oh yeah. Okay, we're in business here. Let's try it again. MCPHub native server guide. Okay, let's just run that. What do we got? The user has provided a comprehensive guide on creating Lua native MCP servers. Okay, so basically I just dumped in the guide, right? So what I would probably want to do is append this with like what I want to do. So I could say something like, make me a server giving me advice on brushing my teeth. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna do. Okay. Yeah, so the point is here, right? It's got this context. It's kind of adding this file that MCPHub has provided. And so it's like, I was hoping it would, you know, do something for me. But yeah, whatever. Fuck it. Okay, let's let me try and call a tool. That's really what I want to do. So, oh man, I don't know. I don't get that. When I type C, it just like everything breaks on me. Okay, here we go. But then look at this. What is that? Like, oh, fuck's sake. Okay, let's get out of this. I want to trigger a tool call. I want to see if MCP is working. What time is it in the UK? it doesn't seem to have a good integration. Like, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be working well. Okay, so I can say at MCP, and I can say, what time is it? Let's try that. Okay, so that's triggering the tool call. So I've got to be like, I've got to basically say, hey, look, I'm trying to do an MCP thing. Okay, here we go. So yes. Okay, nice. So here's the tool output. So what time is it? God, this is just an awful way to spend money. All right, I'm throwing the towel in, but you know, clearly something's working here. Something's going right. All right, so that's where I'm cutting this off today. But if you found this helpful, if you like this type of thing, please leave me a like and subscribe. You know, both of these things help me out quite a lot here on YouTube. They help me grow, help my videos reach a wider audience, and ultimately they just ensure that I'm gonna be able to keep making this types of stuff for you guys. So I'm gonna leave a video for you here about my thoughts on Cursor and Neovim as a sort of complementary development setup. Because as you've seen today, these AI tools are great, but when it actually comes to getting shit done, I think you need something more powerful, and I talk about that a lot in this video right here. So if you want to use Cursor, if you love Neovim still, and I think this video will help you find a balance. So thanks for watching, and namaste.